been really interested in Zen philosophy. I don't want to say that. I'm really interested in Zen recently. Soto Zen or zazen, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of what I've been following. Got into it through a book that I bought. I think after it was my first year of college. I bought a bunch of books on philosophy. You know, that first year you take Psych 101, you think you know everything about the world. So I was going to go buy a bunch of books that I could put on my bookshelf and make myself seem smarter than I really was. So I bought like the Philosopher's Handbook, which is still on the shelf over there somewhere, completely unread. I bought a couple other books that, you know, were kind of supposed to be intellectual books, like some literary classics and things like that, which I did think I read. I got a book called Silence, which was about a Christian monk who travels to Japan and is the hardships that he followed and things like that. And I bought a book called Hardcore Zen, which I found in the self-help section of our now closed down Books A Million, by an author named Brad Warner, and it really stuck out to me as someone who'd gone to hardcore shows, been into punk music, heavier music, metal music, whatever, for most of his teenage years. Like, you know, I'm still into it today, you know. A lot harder to get out and go to shows now with COVID, but, you know, also if I get in the pit for more than 5 minutes, all of my bones hurt, and I can't breathe. So that's kind of a bummer. But, you know, the book, I got a paperback version of it where, you know, the author's on the spine wearing a Misfits t-shirt. I think the front cover has like that stereotypical old school hardcore font that you see on everything associated with it, like blocky letters. Looks like they're stenciled in. And then it's got like a picture of a toilet or something on it. Like it's like, you know, trashy punk bathroom, you know the type. But, you know, the tagline for that book, which was his first book, and I think he's even expressed a little bit of like, I said some things in that book, I was young, it was my first time, blah, 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 blah. But the line that stuck out for me is that this book is Zen for people who don't give a rat's ass about Zen. And, you know, it's kind of like a baby steps intro book into Zen philosophy. And the philosophy behind Soto style Zen is that you just sit and stare at the wall with your eyes open for half an hour a day, every day, forever. And then you're not going to find, it's not, you know, peddling some great third eye opening view of the universe. You're not going to find anything great. It's good for nothing. But my dog barked. It's good for nothing, but it there is value to it. I don't know. Brad Warner trained under some guy. Trained is a weird word to say there. Learned under some guy named Nishijima Roshi out of Japan, who learned under somebody else, and, you know, you can trace it back however long. But yeah, I've been meditating every day, and it honestly has been helpful to me. The troublesome thing is getting more than 30 minutes a day in. Or, well, getting 30 minutes a day in. I misspoke. I sometimes can do 30. There have been times where I've done 30. Most days it's 5 or 10, and some days I don't even do it. And that's been the hardest thing, is doing it every day. Because it's not like a serious enough change to where when I don't do it, I immediately notice something is wrong. It is after, you know, a month or so or 2 months of not doing it consistently, I'll notice something's off in my life. Things aren't, I'm overthinking things, or I'm in a bad headspace, and I'm like, what has changed? And it's I'm not being consistent with my Zen, my meditation. So I go back and I start staring at the wall more regularly, and things do tend to work themselves out. It's not even like a clearing your mind thing. It's just sitting with your problems and saying, you know, this is what it gives me more time to think and focus and kind of bring back that, I don't know, it's a hard thing to explain, and I've never learned with anybody officially. I just have read books from this and listened to talks from this Brad Warner guy. I've looked on Wikipedia, and I've read some different literature from big names, you know. I read some of what this Dogen guy had to say, which is a lot of weird, wild, pseudo-spiritual stuff, and old Asian proverbs. But it's cool. I like Zen. I'm eager to see if I, you know, continue on this Zen-y path or whatever. I don't know. Meditation is helpful. I guess that's all I've got to say about that.